So finally, after with a lot of courage and with a lot of hopes, and only for you guys, for only for you girls, I have made up my mind to share my story. So I'm going to divide the story in different parts. So because I don't want it to be super lengthy, and I don't want you all to skip it. So I'm going to make it like you know in different parts so that it reaches, and in case you know someone who is actually going through tough time mentally, especially because of infertility, do share it with them. This is like a genuine request, because I just want you all to know that we all are sailing in the same boat and the destination is very near. All you have to do is be positive. Don't take stress and be happy. So today I'm here to share my story, and I hope with my story you guys get a lot of hopes and you actually stay strong, very strong. So let's get started. So just a disclaimer, I'm going to be super real, and I'm just going to speak my heart out and entirely. I'm not going to do any cuts in between. So in case I fumble, in case I'm quiet, just bear with me, because I don't want to know I don't want to take the pressure of being like perfect right now on the screen, and I just want to be the way I am. So I think I've said a lot. Let's start with the story. So I remember that it was like 2017 when I experienced like the first cramp in my left side, okay, in left side of the stomach, and it was such a crazy pain that I was not able to bear it. So I came to my mom. I told her that that I have this pain, and she said, maybe you would have eaten something, so just have jeera water, or have this kada and all of those stuff like any other mother would do. And I also came to my husband. So if I address boo in any of this video, just refer that as my husband, okay? So I went to boo and I told him the same thing, that I have this massive pain. I don't know why, it just comes and it just goes away. And he said, okay, maybe again you would have eaten something, because I used to eat a lot of junk back then and a lot of outside food. So he said maybe it would be because of that. So let's see, and maybe if it continues, probably we'll go and see the doctor. But nobody was actually really believing that I was having this crazy pain. Probably they thought that I am just seeking attention. That is what I felt, because I was just 24. That was genuinely what I felt. And then what did I do? I was at work and I had this crazy pain again, and I just walked up, packed my bags, I went to my manager and I told her that I have this pain and I have to, I just want to go home. And I directly went to my family doctor, like all alone. I went to the family doctor. I told her that there is this pain. She asked me to do a sonography. I went alone to the sonography. It was about 10-15 minutes walk. So I went there. I did the sonography, which by the way was horrible experience. I mean, the way it was me first time to go to a local or a private sonography center, because we usually go to an army hospital, because my dad is from army. But I actually went there alone for the first time, and it was such a horrible experience. And also the person who was doing my sonography actually made me like shook. Like I was so scared, because he said that there's an ectopic pregnancy, which means that the tubes that are there in the left side, maybe the baby is forming there, and in case it grows, you'll die. And I was like, what? And I did not know what to do. So I called up, I don't know what's gone inside my ear. So I called up my mom. I told her that I've done the sonography. So we come to the doctor directly, because it was like 5 minutes away from my house. And we went to the doctor, and then the doctor saw that, and she said ki we can't actually see in the sonography if it is an ectopic pregnancy or no. So probably you should meet a gynec, and then she will suggest what needs to be done. And I was like, okay. I called up boo, and I told him that, these things is what people have told me now. I've met the sonography person, he told me this, and the doctor have said this. So he quickly, he got a little panic, because he knows that I will not go to this extreme end of, going to the sonography person alone and to the doctor alone. He knew that there was something major, and trust me, from that time, whenever I say that something is hurting me, they are petrified. They are like very very scared, because they know that I wouldn't do it just to seek attention. If I genuinely feel, and if I genuinely I'm not able to bear the pain, that's when I am going to be like vocal about it, because I think I'm super strong. I can bear a lot of pain, but in case it is like extreme, I wouldn't be able to. Then I actually go to my family and my husband and tell them. So that is what they also learned during that time, and I was just 24. And so he started searching for gynec, and then the next day he got a reference from a friend, and then we went and met the gynec, and that gynec was like, she said, she saw the reports and she was like, admit kar do isko, admit her the next day, because we need to remove her left ovary, otherwise there's a lot of infection, it is just going to spread, and there's going to be a lot of consequences. So just get admitted tomorrow, and we're just going to remove the left ovary. And thing was that if they remove it, then the chances of pregnancy is like 50-50. It might happen or it not might happen. So we were like, a lot of people, like 3 different people are giving you 3 different things. Now what do we do? So I had this feeling ki nahi, we should not be doing like this whatever laparoscopy or this operation, the minor, major, anything we should not be doing. And we were like, let's take another opinion, which Boo agreed on, and even my family. So we went and we spoke to my family, his family, and we all agreed that we are going to do like a second opinion. So then there was this childhood friend of mine, her sister was a gynec, and she had a good experience of 15 plus years. So we actually went there and met her, and she saw my report. She was too kind and sweet. She saw my reports and she said, let's do a TB test and see. Okay, now I was not able to understand that there is something in the left ovary, and she's asking me to do TB, and I was so scared, because all that I had heard was if someone has TB, they probably die. And I was like, what is happening? And then I went and did the TB, and you won't believe what happened. I went there, they actually put like an injection inside, and then they just mark it on your hand, and then they check the radius or the diameter. Okay, if it surpasses this kind of radius, I believe, then you have TB. So I did that on the first day. It was so painful. I did that, and the next day I went. So they mark it, and you have to go the next day to see, and then they measure it. So I went the next day, and that stupid person said that maybe it was a fault, it was an error, so we have to do it in the left hand, I mean the right hand, the other hand. So again I had to go through that process. So I was so exhausted already mentally, and then they did it in the right hand, and I got the report the next day, and it was positive. So I went back to the doctor. She said that I thought so that there would be a TB infection that is down there, so we need to get that removed. So there's no operation needed, it can be cured with medication. So she transferred me, she asked me to go and meet a TB specialist, and she referred me a good TB specialist. Is the TB specialist doctor was very very good. It actually helped me. It took about 1 year for me to recover and to get back, but it was in crazy 1 year, because I was put in high antibiotics. I was exhausted mentally. I was sleepy the whole day. I was not able to do anything. I was like, what do I do? Every month there was like liver test to make sure that the liver is proper. If you don't know, in this entire journey I've learned that more than anything, the very much underrated organ in our body is liver have to be fully working, liver have to be fully functioning, and then only our entire system is going to work. If anything happens, like if there is any infection, or if you take highly, high medication, you have to like get your liver tested. So I was doing like monthly blood test, and a medication was changing. It was high, low. I was off work. I was not working for about 2 months. I did not work. I took chutti, I took leave. I was at home and I was just in the bed. I was just sleeping, and I think it took like so much. I was mentally very, very exhausted, honestly. And then I knew that I can't do anything right now because I just had to, recover. So I started eating good food. I started, continuing with the medication. And then 1 year down the line, when we did the test again, I had to go through like a CT scan also. That was extremely crazy, honestly. They had actually given me like 2 liters of water and some medicines in it, which I had to have before I go to the CT scan. And I had that, and it was again very, very terrible. I had become super lean. I dropped to 39 kgs, I believe. It was so bad. And then I had to go through this entire CT scan where the water gushes inside the body, and then they are able to see, they put a saline and they can see whatever is inside. So that had to be done to do a final check if I have TB or no. And after all of those, and after like 1 year, like proper, it was like a proper 1 year medication. And post that, I went to the doctor, and then the doctor said that the TB is cured. It was like solid 1 year, and I was so happy. I went back to my gynac, the one who actually recommended, the TB. And I think you need to have that trust, because she was someone, she could have also said that, let's do a surgery just to get money. But I think she was very kind enough to help me out and figure out, because I was very little back then. So I'm very, very grateful about it. So I think in this journey I've learned so much. And then she said, at that point also, she said that, start trying have a baby, because there's this infection down there and a lot of things can happen if there is TB. It's great that you have recovered, but then we need to plan. But I was so exhausted that I really wanted to give myself a lot of time, and that's the reason I took a break. I took a break in the sense I didn't want to pressurize myself, with trying or to have sex, or to just do it for the sake of it, because I also wanted to be mentally prepared of being a mother. So I wanted to take some time out for myself, just heal mentally, heal emotionally, and then probably it will happen naturally. That was my thing. And then there was another twist to it, which I'm going to tell you in the next video. If you like this video, if you got some some insights about it, all I wanted to say, or all I want to say through this video is that, number one point, if there is something down there, okay, in your ovaries or in your fallopian tubes or in your uterus, do not panic. First, go check, get yourself checked, do a sonography, go to a family doctor if you have, go to a genuine doctor, read reviews about the doctor. If you find the doctor, see if you gel up with the doctor, you have a rapport, you get the good vibes from the doctor, which is so important. See if the doctor is caring, see if the doctor actually listens to you, so important. And then, if you think no, this doctor is not right, go consult second doctor, third doctor, fourth doctor. I know the consultation fees will go, but if you get your perfect doctor, it is going to just work magic. It will just ease you. If you have any problem, You can just go to the doctor, just call up the doctor and ask, instead of just googling so much about what will happen, why this is happening, what is the cause, and what are the consequences, what is the remedies. Do not do that. Do not be like a self, do not diagnose yourself. Could say it is not going to help. So my whole motive about this part 1 was for you to understand that, please understand, you need to go and get yourself checked. Now the doctor I spoke about, who asked me to do the surgery, was a actually surgeon, and of course they are going to get money only if they do a surgery right. Trust me, in this world where there is so much, where people just want money, they are not going to bother who you are. Not, they are not concerned. That day, 24-year-old girl understood that that money के लिए people can do anything, a person can go to any extent. Doctors are not God, for God's sake, don't tell me that. वो तो भरोसा ही उठ चुका है. I don't think, there are people who genuinely want to help you, but I think you need to get that one correct doctor, and if you do, it is just going to be so amazing. So my whole motive to make this video was, it's fine if your infertility is because of TB, or it's fine if you have like one disease. All you have to do is be strong, keep people around you who's very strong. In my case, I had my mother, I had my dad, I had my brother, I had my boo, I had my husband, by the way, who was so supporting. They were so good to me. In fact, when I had this, I moved to my mother's house because I thought it would be a good environment. My mama would take care of me because she wanted me to come back, and I was with her for entire 1 year, and my husband had to jump between his house and my house, and he's been so supportive, always checking on me. Even if I was at work, people at work helped me so much, my managers helped me so much. So it's just that if you're good, honestly, people are going to be like helping you. If you're genuine, you're honest, you're loyal, you don't lie, people are going to be there to push you up. And I think these people have done, like, they've just been for me, and I think that is what I've learned in the first phase of my life, and I'm so grateful. So if you feel that this is something that would help someone, just share it with them. And if it has helped you, just comment down and tell me, in case you need some more information about TB, because I've gone through so much. I know how it feels. I know what the process is. So in case you need some insights, you can probably comment down, or you can just ping me on Instagram, and I will see you there. So with that, let's end this video, and I'm gonna come back with a part 2, which is more crazy, challenging, and exciting, and mad. So I'm going to share that also in the upcoming video. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll meet you in my next video. Bye bye. Love.